Hello, bass family, and welcome to Everything Bass. Hey, we have another bass book deep dive. The what? What are we talking about today? You saw it in the cover. We're going to talk about Gary Willis's 101 Bass Tips, Stuff All Pros Know and Use. This is a cool book. This book, is the concept is unlike any other. Now, I had an opportunity to be both a student of Gary Willis's when I went to MI, and then when I became a staff member of MI to work alongside him, or at least experience him in a lot of different opportunities. And first of all, genius person, genius player, nicest guy you could ever meet. And we had things at MI called open counselings, where you would literally sit in a room and you could ask the instructor anything. So imagine that, being able to sit in a room with Gary Willis and just hear another student say, hey, I'm having problems with this, and hear his answers. Now, sometimes the answers were so varied, it wasn't a concept to fill a full book. And I love what Gary's thoughts process, I'm guessing, what his thought process is I could create a book where all these answers for different ththings are covered. So that's the what, the 101 Bass Tips. The who's this book for? You know what? It's for anyone serious about playing music. And I'm not saying being a pro, although it says stuff all the pros know and use. I'm saying for anyone who just wants to be a better bass player. And what's cool about it is, like, if you buy a book on jazz walking, you're studying jazz walking. If you buy a book on sight reading, that book is sight reading. This covers everything from gear to practice tips to, I can't even cover it all in a summary. So if you're a player who wants that, also if you're a player who sometimes maybe your work life is really, really hard and you don't have time to really sit down and commit a long time to practicing. By the way, thank you for spending that time with me. But this book's great because it's got literally sometimes two things you can work on in each page. So you could literally do a page a day, or every time you can pick up your bass. And I should say, some of this stuff you don't even need your bass on, but you could just read two, like one page, get two new concepts, and then just mentally process them, and you've already then elevated your bass playing. So that's who it's for. It's for everybody. Everybody. Books should be, I think, everyone who's serious about playing music. Amateur, professional, doesn't matter. If you're serious about being the best bass you could be, get this book. How does Gary do it? It's genius. It's brilliant, of course. Now, I should say there is, on the older versions, there's a DVD. I'm sure there's a way that you now just go to a website and download the files or listen to them streaming. But so what he does, and it's so unique. So when I usually cover the how, it's very simple. The instructor starts here and walks you through here. I try not to give away too much in the book because I want to respect each author. But like, if I just start at the beginning, it talks about string boiling recipe. Like, how do you boil your strings? If you don't have enough money to get new strings, but your strings are incredibly dead, boom, half the page he talks about that. Then eye contact. They seemingly are unrelated directly, but they relate to being a better bass player. Eye contact, talking about maintaining visual contact with musicians in your band. It's just so cool, and I'm not going to spoil it. And then on page 5, the third step is all one concept. Take the fifth for improv. Such a cool idea. And there are some written examples, and written examples are in notation and tab. So once again, it's for everybody. You don't know how to sight read, no problem. Gary provided the tab here. So that's the how he does it. And honestly, 101 of these things. There was a section on how to make your own bass strap. Genius. Where you should trim your strings when you change your strings, how to do pull-offs, memorization, what helps memorization. It's all in here. And covered in such a quick hit way that if you find yourself having problems with focus, you can't focus on a topic for a very long time, this book serves you really well. Why get it? I kind of covered that already. Man, we all have gaps in our skill sets. And one of the coolest things about being a musician is you can, for the rest of your life, work on filling in those gaps. But sometimes the gaps are in such a niche little thing that no one's going to write a book solely on that thing. So I say get this and see what gaps fill in. And I don't know of anyone who would know every 101 of these things. So that means there's a gap for every player that can be filled by this book. When should a player get it? You can get it day one. hands down, day one. Now, granted, some of the things you might not understand yet because maybe you're brand new to the instrument. So what I would do is maybe get a highlighter, and like when you find one that's like string boiling, you can be a beginner and understand how to string boil. So you might want to highlight that number. Like he uses these cool graphics, these little circles with the numbering system. So you just highlight the numbers in, and that shows that one you understand, you can do. But that also allows you to revisit the book along the journey you take as getting more understanding in music and getting better as a bass player. Go back through, find ones that aren't highlighted, see if you understand them now. The other thing that's really cool is take this book to your private instructor. Whenever there's one you don't understand, say, hey, you know, I've got to this, I don't really understand what he's talking about. That is a really great opportunity for the instructor to fill a need that you have right then. But be patient. Sometimes he knows you very well, he knows what you're asking, and he knows there's this knowledge gap. So he might say, great, okay, we'll get there, but I need you to work on this first. Trust the process and you'll be a better bass player. So win, get it, win, anytime. You walk out of the store buying your first bass, order this book if they don't have it, or buy it if you see it. And last, where can you get it? You know what's lucky is it's published by Hal Leonard. And that means you can buy it pretty much any music store that has music books usually, or can order from Hal Leonard. Of course, you can get it online. I'm always one to support local music stores first. Actually, I bought mine at a local music store. So that's, you know, I'll get off my soapbox. I just like supporting your local businesses, not just music stores, everything, restaurants. So that's it, man. I can't give this a highest enough endorsement. This book is brilliant. This book can do anything, man. And you know, I've been playing. I'm coming up on 40 years of playing. I'm closer to 40 years than I am to 30. I don't want to tell you how old I am. And I still love reading through this. And I've read through it several times, and it just reminds me of things I could be working on. It's just great. It's like this book is your opportunity to sit with Gary Willis in open counseling and just learn. So do it. Okay? So there you have it. Another bass book deep dive. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you already have the book, this has been really helpful on other videos where you guys have commented, I've had this book, it's great, or whatever. You know, give some descriptions, like what did you like out of the book? Like, I have this book. Or if you studied from Gary, give him an endorsement. Say, hey, I studied with Gary, and this is what I found it to be. So that can be helpful to your brothers and sisters. So thanks everyone for stopping by. I really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to spend some time with me and to interact with me either through the comment section or message me at dtitus@daletitus.com. I appreciate all of it. I thank you for what you've been doing for the channel. To my Patreon supporters, thank you so much. To you, it's $8 a month. To me, it's just vital. I really, really appreciate you guys becoming Patreon supporters. Me, my family, we really thank you for that. And I'll see you at the next video.